Okay. So product management is nothing but you're building a product where you're going to manage the things of how the product is built. It's simply defined as building products that really matter. Say in the practical world, say you build a product and it's not just that. You're just building a product and no one is using it. Then it does not have a value. And to be valued, the product you build should add should make some significant change in the way you are utilizing a product. It can be anything. It can be a software product or it can be some hardware. So talking about the situations in current corporate world, most of the thing the product management is related to building a software. A software, it can be as simple as the software that you're using every day for texting, say WhatsApp or the Google Meet, or it can be the calendar, Google Calendar that you're using. Say for Microsoft, you use any of the mail. It is also a product, but it's a digital product, a software. So how are they built? So for that, let's begin with understanding the core concepts of product management. So, in product management is a disciplined way of ideating a product and making it to reach the market and then expanding it. So, it is defined by three ways: the what, the why, and then when. So, the what stands for defining the right product to build based on users' need and business goal. Say, I wanna have a texting app. Say, WhatsApp is built, so I wanna have some texting app. In that, the core feature will be texting, right? So, without balancing the core feature, and you see the core feature is really used or not, and if you're building thing, then it's a useless thing. And we'll go for the why. You need to understand the problem deeply before jumping into the solution. So I'm building the WhatsApp now. So for texting, you need to understand what all the background work is going on. Say if I text now, it is going to reach the other guy immediately, or it's of new use. So how is the technology is going to maintain from the backend side? So you text it goes to a server, and from server it is going back to the user again. And that is how you need to manage everything. You need to understand every single stage of the entire product that you're going to build. Then it comes to when. It is the sequencing delivery and maximizing the impact for the delivery. Okay. So and there is some quote: PMs don't manage people, and there is some regular misconception that product management PM is product managers. They manage people, but it's not that. They manage the product and its direction. So actually, where this PM sits, product management sits in the intersection of three disciplines: the technology, UX design, and the business. So what technology means? It's the accessing technology and feasible and working. Say there is some backend developer, and you want some product, and for that backend developer, you need to tell him, okay, I need this kind of product, and you need to figure out the best technology that you're going to use. Not just from backend, it will be for UX designer also. Say in WhatsApp, you want like the list of charts you want to show. How are you going to show? Are you going to show horizontally, vertically, or in parallelly? It depends. The best UI gives the best user experience. It matters the most. And coming to the business, so you're building a WhatsApp, and in WhatsApp we have WhatsApp business. Same, you are not able to make any revenue from it. Then how are you going to run the business? The business is the key feature. You cannot neglect it at all. Even the feature may sound so cool, but without a business, it's of no use. So we'll go for product discovery. So how do you validate a problem before starting a solution? You need to observe things. For example, for WhatsApp, what do? You need to talk to people. Like you need to ask them what are the, like you'll be observing them. There is a problem in texting people, and then you'll note down. You'll talk to people. You'll say I'm building this product where you text your friend and it reaches to them immediately, and that's how you create some spark in them and you make them feel interested. You need to observe the exact root problem and you need to start thinking of the solution, and then you need to synthesize. So if you ask a user, he'll say 10 to 100 different things that he's facing, but everything is not a valid thing and everything does not needs to be solved. You need to particularly fix few points, and then you need to fix figure them out to get the solution, and then you'll brainstorm it. You plan sprints. Say like WhatsApp is really big. You have 10 different features, and you can't build 10 different features at in one go. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna break them into sprints. Sprints are the small timeline where you know put different types of small breaking down a big feature into small things, and then putting the targets. Say on day one you're gonna get this, on day five you're gonna get this. Like generally a sprint lasts for 2 weeks, which is an average time in the world, like in the corporate world. So we need to validate that. So you build the product. Definitely, it's not the complete product. It's the basic MVP stands for minimum viable product that you're gonna build, and then you're go give to the user and say, "Hey, I'm building this. Have a check on this." So you make sure that the user is really interested. Like you have to make that the user is able to use your product and something value is being added from your product. So let's discuss some product strategy and vision. So generally it comes like you're building some really long products and then you need to maintain it. So WhatsApp is not just you build once and it's over. You're gonna build it. So it came some ago and still you're using it and still you get updates every other day. See that's what matter. You need to keep some vision and need to have some strategy, and for the strategy you create a roadmap, and from the roadmap you discover all the features and you list them down every single thing. So there is some code, like I just want to mention you. Great strategy aligns every feature to a large purpose, which is the North Star. The North Star is a key highlighting part of your product. So for WhatsApp, it's the texting. So yeah. So while building things, this common thing rises. So you're doing any sort of thing, you need to prioritize them, because you'll be heads up to 10 and multiple things, tens of multiple things. But prioritizing them gets you reach your product at the earliest, and that's the really main feature. Say you're a backend guy, or like you're PM and you're gonna say this backend guy, I want this particular feature to be delivered first, and later on you'll build upon them, right? Say there are 10 features, out of which you need only two three in the first level for the MVP, and then in the second stage everything comes rest. For that you need to prioritize the things. It's the key, you can say, the key thing the PM should do. So there are some methods. The commonly method are the RICE score and the Moscow method. So what is RICE? RICE stands for reach, impact, confidence, and then effort. So how reach, in the sense how many users are impacted, and how much does it move the needle in the sense the progress of the product, and the confidence, and how sure are we that this is gonna be built, and how many people and how much time is needed for building that specific feature of the product. So what is Moscow method? Moscow method is must have, should have, could have, and won't have. So as I mentioned earlier, there are 10 features out of which you need 2 to 3 at the right moment. These are must haves, non-negotiable. A WhatsApp without a chatting feature is useless, because that is a key product, right? That's the key point of using a WhatsApp. That's the point, which is non-negotiable, and they are the launch blockers. Without texting, you cannot launch a WhatsApp. And then should have, so they had some higher value. So in WhatsApp, you include a voice call, in a voice call. That's a should have. It creates some high value, and then you need to include it if it's possible. And could have, it's like, if you get the bandwidth to build it, you make a video call option. And then won't have, say, you're adding some emoji features in the very initial launch, then it's not necessary, right? Who is going to test the emoji feature on your first day? People are going to see for the chatting option. That's the key feature, right? So you need to prioritize that. And won't have, you'll be removing the emoji option for now, and later on in the upcoming cycles you're going to add it. So yeah, PM define what and engineers define how. You need to understand the difference. Say, I'm going to say like I need a WhatsApp. So what does WhatsApp have? The chatting feature, right? You're building the chatting feature right now. You need to clearly write what the chat option provides, how it should work. Say, and say you say, I'll text my friend, and the friend receives the message instantaneously. That is the key feature. And then you need to provide like all the text written by me are on the left side, and all the text from my friend are on the right side. You need to put every single thing over there. And for that, you'll be writing clearly defined the product requirement documents. And then involve engineers. See here in WhatsApp, you'll be texting 10 different friends, and everyone should be able to reach you. And that is the thing. For that, you'll be writing the requirement documents, and then you'll be presenting it to your engineers who'll be building this stuff. And for this, you will be including your engineers because the technical feasibility matters a lot. So you say some feature which no one can build, then it's what you're wasting your time and your engineer's time, right? For that, you need to fix things. And then the product the team from scope recap, like say in 2 weeks in a sprint, you can't build every single thing, right? You need to break them down into realistic tasks. Then only you can get the some stuff. Protect the team and then celebrate the wins and not just feature. Understand trade-off, and speed versus quality versus scope matters the most. And don't never dictate how to build because you're not an engineer. You are just a PM. And the engineer, the backend, the front end developers, they are gonna build the real stuff that you want. Avoid, say you started a sprint and then you can say like, say there is some minor tweaks you want to make, that's cool. But you cannot ask them to make a major changes during the sprint. And don't skip any tech session. Never overpromise timelines to stakeholders, and don't ignore tech debt and budget for it. Right. So metrics is an KPI, and this matters the most because the product that you're building, how you're gonna measure, like is the success product or a failure, and what changes you need to do, and everything you need to follow. Say Google has their own like framework for this. They call it heart for happiness, engagement, adoption, retention, and task success. And for that, they'll have different matrices. And one of the key metrics is the North Star matrix, which is the key feature. For example, for WhatsApp, what is the key feature? The message that you're sending, right? Sending to 10 to 100 different friends. Everything should work. That is the key metrics. And here comes the main thing, the product market fit. And there's a quote from Sean Ellis test which says if 40% of your users would be very disappointed if your product disappeared, then you have the product market fit. Same, let me just tell you, if WhatsApp disappears from your life, you know how much it's gonna create that impact in you. And that says WhatsApp is the exact product market fit. And it is the main reason for organic growth, strong retention, and willingness to pay. And in WhatsApp business, the companies are paying to WhatsApp just to use the service, and that's how they make money. And word of mouth, it's the main thing. Say I'm using WhatsApp, and I suggest my friend he does not have any messaging app, and I said, hey bro, I'm using this WhatsApp, so you can give it a try. You like it, we can both text on it, and that's how your product spreads. And this is agile and the sprint cycle. This is a method where you plan your sprint. What is that? First you'll be planning it, and then you'll have a daily stand up 15 20 minutes thing, and like you'll be discussing what you have done yesterday and what you're going to do today. And if there is a blockage of your work, you'll be telling the exact guy, hey, please do remove this blockage so that I can work on it. And then you'll review a sprint, and based upon the progress you'll be giving a demo to your stakeholders, and then retrospective, say if something is going well or something is going bad. You need to talk about it and then figure out the best. And this is the key thing. Say while building anything, the stakeholder comes first. And as a PM, you have everything. You need to manage every single stakeholder and you need to practice them because it's the key thing. Like say I'm funding your WhatsApp, and you're not listening to me. And does that make any sense? Like I'll stop funding them. Or you're not listening to your users. Say WhatsApp, there is some wrong feature has been come. Like you cannot text to two different people at a time. Then you're because there is something problem is there. So what are you gonna do? Your user gonna say that I need this feature at any cost, and that is a mandatory. You need to get it at any cost. And there are some common mistakes that you need to avoid. Building without validating and feature factory mindset, ignoring tech debt, weak why, hyper-driven decision, and no success metric defined. And how do you define a great skills of a great PM? And strategic thinking, analytical, and communication that plays the key role of it. And here are some key takeaways. First thing, you need to fall in love with your problem and define success before you start, and prioritize ruthlessly. It matters the most. And communicate obsessively. You should not have any doubt while communicating. You should be pinpointed of what you want and how you want it. Think the outcomes and not the output. So yeah, thank you.